Well, they tried to abort me from my class, but I stayed with my teacher. And before he left us, listen to how he described Farrakhan. He said, "This is a man that this world can't bother." I mean, just think about that. This is a man, talking about me, that this world cannot bother. Now, you know they hate me. Here I stand. My brow is not furrowed. In fact, all the hell that they and their minions and the hypocrites give me, I sleep well. Wait a minute, wait. So from being in the class, this Savior's Day, I joined the class 65 years ago. And if you get acquainted with me, you'll see that Elijah Muhammad made me a master. A master. Because I am also a star of piercing brightness. Now, see, my teacher made me a star, but I found out that Master Fard Muhammad made me. He told me, "Brother, I gave you the same thing that I gave everybody else, but only God could show you how to take the teaching and put it in the way that you do." Then he said, "No, brother, I did not make you. God made you for me." So when you look at Moses, the modern Moses, that's Elijah. That is the modern Aaron, the mouthpiece of Moses. If Malcolm had stayed in the class, he would have grown into that great stardom. Who do I hang out with? Abraham, Noah, Lot, Aaron, Elijah, Elisha, Muhammad, Joshua, Moses. Wouldn't you like to be in that constellation of stars? Now look, I'm not putting stardom on myself. I just belong in that company. You can doubt it. I mean, I don't care nothing about that. Now let's go back to the picture of the moon and the wheel. You see the moon? The moon in spiritual language represents the prophets of God. Because the moon has no light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. That is a full moon. It represents the fullness of the prophets and their prediction of the one that would come at the end of the world to answer the prophets' predictions, fulfilling all of the predictions of the prophets, thus sealing them as the prophets of God. My teacher told me that Master Fard Muhammad, he took his place by his permission. He said, I'm making you to take mine. So if he was Messiah while he was here, no. That's the hat that I wear today. Just listen. If I had said it 40 years ago, you would have said I was crazy. You still may say it, but I got 40 years of unequal work. And can't none of you match my work. None of you. God used me to call 1 million men to Washington, and 2 million men show up. What man have you ever seen in America or in the world than if that demon in Washington, Hoover, was looking for a Messiah that could unite the nationalist community? Well, it was announced on February 16th, 1995, that the Messiah is in the world. October 16th, when 2 million men, or nearly 2 million, showed up, and everybody who was anybody was there. What drew you there? What drew you there? It was not I. It was a spirit bigger than I that called you to witness his Messiah. So I'll stop right there. Jesus is the key to everything. And to Muslims in the audience who say, well, wait a minute, Farrakhan, because you're supposed to be a Muslim. Yeah, I am that. But Muslims don't talk about Jesus. They talk about Muhammad. When I talk about Muhammad, I'm talking about Jesus. Because the Jesus that is to show up with the Mahdi, his name is Muhammad. Worthy of praise. Yeah. It might blow your mind for a minute. I got a little time. I'll wait on you. I want you to do the scholarly work. Because the man that you're looking at is prepared to die to prove the faith. Listen to me good. See, Jesus knew that his life was to be taken, but it had a higher purpose. Kobe's life taken in an accident has a higher purpose because God wanted you to see him. But he was a sign of a man that you will see the enemy come to get me. That's right. And I laugh because the cross don't scare me. I feel like Jesus saying, God, are you sure that this is what you want me to do? And Jesus said, well, drink this cup, you know. It's bitter. See, everything looks nice now, don't it? See how beautiful you look? But I am to be betrayed. See, I don't know who the betrayer is. He's sitting up around me somewhere. Come on out, baby, and do your thing. And then go kill yourself afterwards. You may not like what I'm saying, but there came a time in the life of Jesus when he started telling people who he was. See? Who do the people say I am? I walked among my Christian family. Y'all used to call me a prophet. I ain't never told you to call me that. I'm not a prophet. See that star that's above the moon? I'm the master of prophets. By Allah's permission. See, there are some things that have to be fulfilled. All the prophets wanted to be here today to see this man do this work. They wanted to be a wayfarer somewhere looking at a man raising dead people to life, opening the eyes of the blind, making the deaf hear and the dumb speak and the lame walk. You don't hang around me and stay blind.